Rib of beef on the bone is one of my favourite roasts, and it's a real treat for a Sunday lunch, or if you're having, you know, some of the family. It's just beautiful. Lovely marbling of fat on the bone gives it the most beautiful flavour. And for this recipe, I'm using the Simply Better roast rib on the bone. Mature for 28 days. Borbia quality assured. It comes from the west of Ireland, Ballinrobe, Jennings Butchers, and honestly, it's as consistent a cut of beef as I've ever used, to be truthful with you, and we've cooked it lots for my family and that, and it's so delicious. So it says it's a 1.3 kilo, so that will feed roughly about maybe 5 people. You push it at 6, you know, we might even get 10 from Cavan. I'm only joking you, but it is a lovely, lovely cut. So when you're roasting beef, is first of all, bring it to room temperature. So that's been out for about 30 minutes. So you relax the meat. Usually it comes vacuum packed. I've just taken that off just with the scissors, just to remove that. Now we're going to heat our pan. We're going to put some rapeseed oil here. And then what we're going to do is put some salt and pepper. And we're going to literally start the cooking process. So black pepper first, just in with the rapeseed oil. And then lots of that lovely sea salt. Now we are going to literally coat the rib of beef using the tongs, just with this. So we just start off on the sides here, just kind of massage it in, just rub it all over. So rapeseed oil just gives the most beautiful flavour, so it does. I'm going to make sure we get plenty of salt on that. So make sure your pan is hot. So why do we sear it off? We sear it off because it's going to seal in all the juices, but you're going to get maximum flavour. Trust me, this is the way I do it. Now you can simply literally put it onto a tray and then pop it straight into the oven if you want to, if you're stuck for time. And what we'll do is just literally this side. So you can see the 2 large bones there. It's what the ribeye comes from. It's a beautiful, beautiful cut, so it is. So just literally place it onto a hot pan. Gorgeous. And then we're going to use all this lovely rapeseed oil. So just scrape that all there. Keep it up at full heat. Just a little bit more on the pan. So you're sealing in all those lovely juices. That's really important. Okay. I'm going to roast it on my V-Rack roaster. This is perfect for chicken, for turkey, for lamb. So what happens is that the meat sits on this trivet. This is what you call a trivet. So it's in the shape of a V. So it's never kind of sitting in the juices, although the juices are going to drip onto your tray for the gravy. And that's really important. So that's a really great piece to have. And that's part of my cookware collection. So I'm just going to show you what we're going to do. A couple of red onions. Cut them kind of across like that. I've just literally peeled them, because they're going to give flavour to the gravy, but also you can serve them as a little kind of a complement. Then a couple of cloves of garlic, and then some carrots. I've just literally peeled some carrots. Cut them nice and chunky. Don't be cutting them too small, because you can serve them on the side too. So I'm not going to show you any vegetables, I'm not going to show you any gravy. I just want to show you the technique of just literally getting the roast ready for the oven. And then I have one already done. A piece like this, if you want it slightly pink, will take about an hour or thereabouts. So I have the oven preheated at 200, and then I dropped it to 180 after about half an hour. So every oven is different. I don't cover it. So some lovely fresh thyme. And then let's see, can we just get this? That's perfect. Lovely. Okay, back onto our meat. You can see that lovely colour. That's exactly what we're doing. It's just searing it in. So really, really good hot pan. I'm sure you know where you can get a good non-stick pan. And what we're going to do then is just literally seal it in both sides. So remember, room temperature, salt, pepper, some rapeseed oil will give lovely flavour. And just keep moving it around. Now, when you want to get the juices for the gravy, what I normally do is some water just onto the tray. So it kind of creates steam. It'll keep your beef really, really moist. I actually don't baste this. And if I was doing a chicken or if I was doing turkey, I'd get a spoon in there and I'd spoon over the juices. That's what basting really means. So I've had a lot of requests, you know, to show, would I show people how to do roast beef? And honestly, this is it's so consistently tender, full of flavour. We love it in our house, so we do. And it's the type of thing, like if I'm going shopping, I always pick up an extra one and pop it into the freezer. It keeps really well, so it does. So just literally seal it off there. Okay, I'm going to flip it over now. Just seal that. Using the tongs, you don't go near the pan at all. That's really, really, really important. So the reason why we're doing this to get maximum flavour. You've seasoned up the beef, but remember, room temperature is the key. It gets a little bit smoky, so don't worry about that. Now, we're nearly there. So preheated oven, 200 degrees fan. It's very, very hot oven. And then after about half an hour, reduce it to 180. So we lift this up here. I'll bring this tray over. And then you just sit it up like that. Now with this lovely oil and that, we're going to what we call deglaze it with a little bit of water. It's very, very hot. And pour that just over your rib of beef. Getting a bit smoky, so it is. Okay, so this is our rib roast ready to go into the oven. I'll move that out of the way there. You can have this ready, and then maybe if you want to just pop it into the oven, you know, maybe a couple of hours before you're going to eat. It's always nicer fresh if you can. So I'm going to take out the one that I have in the oven already. So just using the oven gloves. This one I put in, it's in about an hour and 20 minutes. So I'll just move this in here. So from this, guys, this is the raw one, this is the cooked one. That was actually slightly bigger, okay? So it took a little bit longer to cook. See those lovely juices there? You can make, I know you may say it's a little bit fatty, you can just let that, put that into a jug, let it cool down, and then what you can do is make your lovely gravy in the actual tray. So the water is very important, because what it does, it creates the juices for the gravy. I topped it up with a little bit of water. I like my beef slightly pink, but if you want it well done, you give that about an hour and 20-25 minutes max. Now really important, when this comes out of the oven, you let it sit, cover it in tin foil, and you let it rest, because if you cut this straight away, guys, all the juices are going to come out from the actual from the beef. You want the juices to stay in the beef, so that's why we seared it. So if you look closely, I'll just show you, just using that lovely colour. See that there, the beautiful colour from searing it off. You have the onions, they're lovely and soft, and I would eat them. The garlic, you can just take the skin off. The lovely carrots there, like that is such a great cut, guys. Let it rest, carve it, and if you're looking for a good carving set, well, here I have you sorted. So this is my carving knife and fork. So that's it there. Just literally put the fork into the beef, carve it. You need to take it off the bone, but it's one of those roasts that are full of flavour. And I'm just going to serve that with some mashed potatoes, some extra carrots, some peas, and then I'll make the gravy from those juices. So the key is, remember that beautiful rib roast. This is it here, rib roast on the bone. Borbia quality assured, matured for 28 days. It's such a consistent roast, this, for me. Take it out of the fridge, bring it to room temperature, sear it on the pan. I know it's got a little bit smoky, but then it goes into the oven at 200 degrees for about 30 minutes, and then you can drop it to 180. The key, I don't cover it with tin foil, nothing like that. I did put a little bit more water onto it, but that was it, roughly about quarter of a pint extra of water on that, and that's going to be the juices for your gravy. So I hope you get inspiration from this. Remember, there's nothing nicer than a rib roast on the bone for a Sunday lunch or for a family treat. It really is delicious. Melt in the mouth, full of flavour, and absolutely gorgeous.